welcome to another installment of Carbon Ether Podcast. I'm the astute Sharif Prescott, and I'm sitting here today with the infamous Chris Brown and the lionized Derek Cook. It's going to be a great day today. We're going to be discussing Dr. Joy DeGruy, post-traumatic slave syndrome. If you haven't seen it, you really need to go to YouTube, look her up. This thing here is absolutely phenomenal. She lay it out. She's a social scientist amongst other things. She's brilliant, and today we're going to be talking about that as we think you guys should know about it just the same. How you doing this evening, Brother Brown?
No, I'm doing good. I'm very excited about the show that we have today, and I'm looking forward to getting right to it. What about you, Brother Cook?
Hey, I'm doing good, man. Glad to be here with you guys. And first of all, before we start anything, make sure that you hit that like button, that subscribe button, follow, and share.
Absolutely. We'd like to give the shout out to our stars, the forward progression, and you're going to hear me talk about it time and time again, because we have to remind you guys that it's you that's pushing us forward, and we are deeply grateful. And for those of you who are just chiming in, when we don't have a celebrity guest on the show, we're going to be talking history. That's our thing. That's what we like to do. And here we go. Cook, you want to get us started?
Hey, PTSD. PTSD. A lot of people think of PTSD as what? Post-traumatic stress disorder.
Yeah.
Like for me being in the military, I have PTSD, and you talked earlier about a few things, and showed you some pictures of some things, but also there is a post-traumatic slave disorder.
Absolutely.
That has come down from generation to generation to generation, like Brother Brown was saying earlier.
Right.
Yeah, and that what Cook is explaining is what you call epigenetics. Whatever happened to our ancestors, there was no reform, there was no counseling, no therapy, nothing, and so it's coded in the DNA and it's passed down through generations. Almost basically a generational curse.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it is if you want to speak the truth about it. And that's what Dr. Joy is pointing out in the video. You guys got to go watch that video. She's on YouTube, and you spell her last name Degury, Dr. Joy DeGruy, even though it sounds like Gurry or what have you. But yeah, it's amazing. And it starts with some of the most prominent people from our history, right?
Yeah.
Right. From presidents. I mean,
some guys have been presidents.
Yeah. So it's very disturbing that just the syndrome, the traumatic syndrome of slavery, like I said, it has a root.
Yeah.
And the root of it to me is it goes back to racism. And not to just be on here on the podcast talking about racism, but it's the root.
That is the root of it.
Definitely.
I mean, think about it, post-traumatic slave syndrome. And the way the pseudoscientists of the time gave their rationale about this, it's nuts, man. Let's kick this thing off with John Newton. Cook, you got any information on John Newton? I do. Reverend John Newton stated that slaves are lesser creatures without Christian souls. Here we go again. Slaves are lesser creatures without Christian souls. Again, here we are, as we've done in the video previously, and I've done in the video just the other day with that tyrant King Leopold. We keep, and this is not to get off on a tantrum, but y'all know I get off on tantrums every single show, every single episode, so I give no dams. Here we go again. These people knew nothing about Christianity, yet again, because if they did, John Newton wouldn't have said what he said. John Newton stated that the slaves are lesser creatures without Christian souls. Creatures. Lesser creatures. Boy, get up out of here. And thus are destined for I'm sorry, y'all. And thus are not destined for the next world.
So basically what he's saying is we had no souls. Our ancestors had no souls, that they were just creatures that
ain't gonna make it into heaven.
Yeah, when they die, they just die.
They just died, and that's it. I mean, you got to think about it. And this is the same guy. What's the song? What's the song they sing in church?
Amazing Grace.
Amazing Grace. Yeah, he wrote Amazing Grace.
He wrote. Jeez, he wrote it. He wrote Amazing Grace. Amazing Grace, how sweet the
sound of those whips.
Yeah, that's a song. I mean, us is not just. I mean, Carbon Ether is for us, but it's for everybody.
It's
but
for
us being black, growing up in the church, everybody knows that song, and that's a song people really like. It's meaningful to people. When you sing that around old people, they just like this. Just be in tears or just, rejoicing with the song. But when you do like your history and look up, who wrote it.
Yeah.
And he didn't even like.
Yeah.
Black.
He was slave owner.
Yeah. So it's really kind of, we really need to start picking up books and reading and doing our research.
You got, like, again, that's the point of getting rid of the Department of Education. That's the point of keeping our neighborhoods in a constant state of less than, because the more educated we become, the less dependent we are upon them. You got to think, this man was taking little girls and women upon his slave ship.
Right.
Raping these young girls and women when that storm came through, and he begged his savior to spare his life, and if his savior spared his life, then he would never do these things again. And so that's how he ended up writing Amazing Grace. A rapist.
Save a wretch, like
Save
him.
a wretch like him. Donald Trump's. They would be great friends. Yeah.
So
what's his name? Used to have the airplane. Trump using his plane now. What's his name? Epstein.
Oh.
All these guys would be kicking it.
Yeah, they'd be buds.
They'd be buddies, man. They'd be kicking it.
So let me explain to you guys what post-traumatic slave disorder is. It is a psychological and behavioral syndrome common among present African Americans today. It is consequence and multi-general oppression and trauma experienced by African Americans from the time of slavery to present day. The syndrome manifests as a lack of self-esteem, persistent feeling of anger, and an internalized racist beliefs, like Brown said.
Yeah, I mean, and like I said, even though we're not old enough to say we experienced slavery, it really affects us then and it affects us now because I mean the anger, I mean sometimes like even I mean growing up in school, I don't know if everybody grew up in different areas, but like when we used to watch movies like Groups and different stuff we had to watch on TV that week during school, if the wrong person just bumped me the wrong way, it's on, let's get it. I mean, but I'm serious, but that's hatred built up, and you said, without counseling or anything, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, it just seems like when it comes to us as Black Americans, African Americans, that whatever we have experienced in life, it's the past. People want you, forget about it. Just get over it.
But we got to remember everybody else's shit, but they don't want us to talk about ours. They don't care to hear ours. Oh, that was 400 years ago. Let it go.
But they want you to forever remember 9/11.
9/11
and stuff like that.
Want us to remember the Holocaust over there with them folks.
Yeah, exactly.
But we can't talk about shit to deal with us.
But like Dr. Joyce said, I guarantee you don't talk to them about forgetting about the Holocaust.
Nope. Hell no.
Now, and since you said something about that, like you said, for over 200 years, hell, way more than that. PTSD, that's something that we go through every day. We have no healing point. We never had any therapy at all. And like I say, Black people been traumatized for a long time. Let's say from slavery to the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and beyond. So like I say, the Holocaust, like you said, Brown, the Holocaust, they make documentaries about it. They make movies about it, stuff like that. So the Jews make sure generations to come that they don't forget about the impact that it had on their people. But for us, we don't have that. we don't have movies being made about us being traumatized in slavery. You know, we have 12 Years a Slave movie like that, like say Roots, something like that. But you don't have like these documentaries like they do on the Holocaust, like you said.
But they still don't tell the truth about that, even with the Roots, because they believe with the Roots, they teach you like everybody was on the ship when we got here. Like everybody just one day was out, you know, and they captured and put you on the ship, and here we are. But it didn't work like that. But I ain't gonna tell the story, but you had to do some research yourself and read, and you'll understand that we've been here.
Yeah, we was already here. Like you said, you need to read for yourself, and there, you know, I got a couple of people that I do know. I used to associate with. I don't associate with them much anymore. Who stated that Black history don't need to be taught in school, and these are people that look like us. The 1619 Project don't need to be taught in school. CRT don't need to. Critical race theory don't need to be taught in the school. This is people that look like us. This right. These are the things that run me hot when it comes to our people.
Black, but not want to be. But
no, I mean, I ain't gonna say don't want to be black. I just don't understand how the hell you can say don't teach it. And running around talking about some little white kids don't need to feel guilt. The hell you say if they don't? Because the moment they feel the guilt, they'll know this shit was wrong. We don't want to go do what our ancestors, our forefathers did to these awesome, magnificent, beautiful, brilliant people. You know, but to hear someone that looked like me say that, it just started chipping away, you know, at my soul with them. You know, like each time they say something stupid, and I continuously see them saying stupid stuff, I don't even want to be around them ever again in life. And that's just how it is. And I have no regret about that, because when you look at this here and you want to deny the truth being told about the so-called black experience, terrible experience, at the whim of, you don't want to hurt little white kids' feelings because they had nothing to do with it. Oh no, I know they don't have nothing to do with it, but every single day, as Dr. Joy was saying, this thing carries over. Whether it's us who carrying it epigenetically from the trauma our parents went through, or if it's the little white kids who's carrying it epigenetically from the thought processes and the ways and the means of how whiteness is so much better than everything else, and the ugly that they did, you know, they brought upon us. So, you know, I'll digress and we'll keep it moving.
Like
it was more than ugly.
Like I was saying earlier, if we not saying racism, getting rid of racism wouldn't get rid of the whole problem that we have, because it's already, you know what I'm saying, no counseling, nothing like that. So racism would knock it down, though. It would put a dent in it, because like I said, racism is taught. You don't just wake up and just be like, I don't like black people, I don't like white people. It's taught. And it stems up, like I said, it really affects us economically,
socially,
you know,
anything you think of, we're affected.
But it doesn't affect them that way, though.
Not for the most part. It don't affect them, because when you look at these people, all these guys, some of these guys, Johann Blumenbach, who's in here, some of these mugs were pseudoscientists. No shred of scientific research or anything. It was all based on how they felt when they came up with this stuff, like the what is it? The Americana Affer what? I got it in here somewhere. What they talking about? Homo Affer. We'll get to that in a minute.
Okay.
But you know, when we look at James Madison, what he had to say about people that look like us. Blacks are inhabitants, but as debased by servitude. He also stated that slaves was of mixed character, being both property and human. So then we end up with the 3/5 compromise.
Right.
I had a debate with my cousin one day about the 3/5 compromise. He was saying that it was all about voting. It was all about voting. I eventually conceded and said, I'm going to let you have it. You won this debate. Knowing when I hung up the phone, he hadn't won a damn thing. Because he don't know what he's talking about. Everything is always emotional, and I ain't trying to be ugly and call him out. I ain't saying no name, but he know who he is when he hear this. You ain't never beat me in a debate. You never will. The 3/5 compromise, because he said you're both property
right.
and a human. The 3/5 compromise said that you were chattel.
Right.
Human cattle. The compromise came about when it was time to vote.
Right.
When the South needed to vote.
Yeah.
And the North was saying, shoot, this is our time to swoop on in and end this whole slavery thing.
Right.
But, you know, when you look at the history of James Madison, this dude, he was a slave owner himself.
Yeah.
Of course, later on, he had other things to say about the ugliness of slavery.
Yeah.
But you still had slaves.
Yeah.
Walking contradiction.
Yeah, a lot of them. Yeah, a lot of them. President of the United States, too.
Absolutely. The President of the United States right now, he wants some slaves, too. That's why they're taking everything backwards. Mm-hmm. Him and that Pete Hegseth.
He got some slaves, black people that listen to what he say. I mean, I'm black, right. So I mean, I'm always gonna have this black face.
He came out of nowhere, boy.
But we really like sell ourselves short. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, and they know a lot. Like they know, regardless, we can have us three together, and we can stand on something and say, "This is what we're gonna do." Blah blah blah. We go over to the store, and then we get. You know what I'm saying? All me and Sharif walk around the corner or whatever, and they might corner Brother Cook and shoot him about $10,000, and we come back over here and we get ready to, you know what I'm saying, vote and stand.
Yeah.
He done changed his mind. Now he ain't with us.
Yeah.
It's kind of like they know, you know what I'm saying, for that little bit of power that we'll get, that they'll let us have, we'll change. They can control us like a puppet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
it's called me Herschel Walker.
Yeah, I'm right. So it's kind of
called me Herschel Walker.
I don't understand that. I don't.
But that's always been our downfall. Even when we go back to ancient times, let's take it back to Kemet when the Greeks ran up in there. They said that they were the sellout Egyptians, which Egyptians are black people, not the ones that's over there now. So we want to clarify that. And I'm saying this, and I'll debate on it. You know, but they said they called them Melkites, sellouts. That's equivalent to calling them a ninja today.
Right.
They were called Melkites, sellouts. They sold out their own people. Martin Luther King sold out by one of his own. We know him, old Messi who? Malcolm X sold out by his own.
Yeah.
You know, it's a bunch of us that was sold out, and we continue to sell ourselves out. When it looks to Huey P. Newton and all those guys in the Black Panther Party, sold out by who? One of our own. Yeah. We do it every time.
And a lot of that is jealousy, though. But I mean, and I can say, and people can say, a lot of people say, well, they made us that way. They did like started or instill it, but we at an age right now where you can look back and see your faults. You know what I'm saying? So you can say they the root of it, but that don't mean you got to keep doing it just because, you know, like somebody, like my daddy was, you know, just like somebody said, well, my daddy was a drunk, and I'm a drunk. No.
Yeah.
That's your choice. It's still your choice. Yeah, it might be in you to like to drink, but it's your choice to be a drunk.
Yeah.
So,
absolutely.
I mean.
Yeah.
This post-traumatic slave syndrome is real, and all of us, if you are melanated American, you got something up in you. I mean, no matter how we look at it, and the best thing we can do is breaking those curses. We can break those curses each generation that comes. You know, we do things differently. We educate them. Nobody has to live in fear of white rage. We don't have to. I'm not going to, and I hope nobody else does, because that's the thing. And I ain't saying white rage in the sense of white people are bad. I'm talking white rage in the sense of those people who want to go back to those times, who want to bring about a new era of a Jim Crow or antebellum. That's that post-traumatic mess that Dr. Joy's talking about. It's passed down through them too, as she mentioned in the video.
Yeah.
I mean, like she said, they can kill George Floyd. That man can sit there with 8 minutes and something odd seconds with his knee on his neck. And people were outraged, of course, but they stood there and they watched it. But as she mentioned in the video, do something to one of them little goddamn dogs. Excuse my French. One of them little puppies.
A little puppy.
And see what they'll do for you.
Oh,
man, they'll blow your brains out.
Yeah, they'll get you on that.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And it's always, you know, I love dogs. I'm an animal lover too. I love dogs, but they take animals to another level. You know what I'm saying? But they have more respect for your dog than another human being.
Yeah. Who raised Remus and Romulus?
That's crazy.
Who raised Remus and Romulus? Wasn't it a wolf? No. Y'all think I'm playing. Historically, this is what they say. You go to Rome, Georgia. Right now. Go to Rome, Georgia, to the square in Rome. Pull it up. Y'all pull it up on your phone. Statue of Remus and Romulus in Rome, Georgia. You'll see them suckling from the nips of a dog. Historically, it says that's who raised Remus and Romulus. No lie. Hey, man, this is history, not reason.
Okay, so post-traumatic stress disorder or slave disorder. Again, like I say, it is generational, and it comes down from slavery to your great-great-grandparents, to your great-grandparents, from your grandparents who grew up in the 50s and 60s.
So you said it goes from slavery to sharecropping to Jim Crow to what? I don't think.
Because lynching. How many white people you know were lynched back in the days?
It was a few, but not like they did us.
Lynching, the burning. So
the destruction of communities. And, this is the thing, and I'm telling you, that trauma is passed down to them too, but not as bad as us.
Yeah.
Because how can the people say, we don't want you amidst us, we don't want you amongst us, go build your own.
Right.
So we're going to come from over here. We ain't want it over here. We're going to go over here, see how nice and pretty that color is and clean. Then they're looking from over there and say, well, they got too much over her. We don't like that. We're going to go over and destroy that there. You come all the way over here.
Right.
To destroy.
But you didn't want us over there.
But you didn't want us over here.
Definitely.
There is something wrong with that damn mindset.
Yeah.
Well, they, not just it's still that way though. Like the only reason, like as the athlete, like modern day slave, the only reason we go to the Alabama, the Auburn, because I believe if you're the best of the best, they gonna find you wherever you if you're the best of the best. But they gonna bring you over there, and the reason they really don't want you over there, but
that money.
They gonna get money from you being over
something
there.
Out of it.
So that's the only reason they want you over there, because they're gonna get paid from that. So they don't think they want you over there because they like you.
Yeah.
They money.
Money, man. Look, when the one thing they've always said, well, like they're gonna do now, what they're trying to do to our financial system in this country. They want to tear it down, and those who look like them think they're gonna be part of that in crowd. They're gonna have that seat at that table. They're not, unbeknownst to them. So what I'm saying is they want to tear it down, tear this financial system down in this country. When they start rebuilding it, they want you to come over here and go to work to enrich them.
Right.
But when you get through, where you got to go?
Right. You got to go back. Yeah.
Back to
over here, man. It's
to the bad place.
And that's crazy, man. You look at history, man. We built the country. We built the country.
Man, we are the country. Everything, and I know this kind of off subject, but y'all know Sharif will get off subject in a minute, because when I do get off subject, it's relevant. Chris Stapleton, the country singer, want to sign a petition against Beyonce for getting country album of the year because she ain't really country. She ain't really country music.
So what makes her not country?
Hold on, this is the thing right here. Have y'all heard Chris Stapleton? The boy, the white guy got soul, man. He can sing.
Mm-hmm.
So, but where did he get his inspiration from? You know where it came from.
Yeah, it came from us.
From us. Who created country music? Since we want, do your research. It's Ain't Sharif.
Mm-hmm.
Do your research. Country music was created by us. Folk music created by us. This is what drives me crazy. They want to keep us out of everything. But it's all ours anyway.
Yeah, they took it from us.
That's it. Hockey, ours. NASCAR, ours. But they want to keep us out of everything. We own this shit. Everything is ours. Pop music, ours. Rock and roll, ours. Everything is ours. But then they want to sit there like Chris Stapleton. We gonna protest Beyonce. No, you ain't. You can protest all you want. You ain't gonna get nowhere.
That's
you stop singing like us and sing like how y'all really sing. No rhythm.
even in inventions, when you was talking about like inventions where slaves didn't have a right to vote, or they couldn't really, you know what I'm saying, a lot of stuff we couldn't say. So if a slave invented something, you know, the master, you know what I'm saying, got reward for that.
Yeah.
But to this day, though, we got families that know that they people didn't invent that. And what's crazy is that they still getting checks.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So now that you know that was wrong, that your great granddaddy did, you know what I'm saying, and you in church now, you serving God, you different now, right? So why don't you're not giving that money back though? You're not gonna say, well, you know what, our family didn't deserve all this. We're gonna get this to the Browns. Mr. Brown invented this, you know, and we're gonna get that to his great grandkids. No, they gonna keep getting that money. So I'm saying
they gonna pass it down.
Yeah, but I mean,
next generation. I
just don't figure it out. Even with, you know what I'm saying, you gotta work to make money. Like even with jobs or whatever, people will never pay you what you worth.
Oh. No, absolutely not. That's what I was trying to tell this guy the other day, man. If you're young, get out there and do something for you. Quit getting on these clocks, because these clocks ain't gonna get us nowhere, man. Think about it. They tell you what your efficacy is as far as your worth.
Right.
Oh no, you're only worth $12 an hour. Man, I'm worth 20.
Right.
No, you're worth 12. According to what we're looking at, you worth $12 an hour. You gotta eat that if you want that job, or you stuck.
You want that paycheck.
So that generational wealth.
Jobs like that, they'll check Tim, see what Tim get made, or Jonathan, what he get paid out.
Oh, yeah.
That's why you work them jobs and be like, you know, you get fired from talking to somebody else about what he make.
Yep.
If y'all doing the same job, you know what I'm saying, unless he done topped out and been here 30 years or whatever, or 10 years, then we supposed to be making the same money. So they don't want you to talk to somebody because they know they're not right on their pay, their wages and all. And, man, I tell you, that's why it be important to tell your kids, get your education.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing, like, they can't take away from you. They can take away your job, your life, your house, your cars, but they can't take what you got up here.
Yeah.
No, they can't.
And kids need to research and read. Hey, but let's talk about your boy, Thomas Jefferson.
Oh, man, go ahead. School.
All right, this is what Thomas Jefferson said. Thomas Jefferson said, blacks smell bad and were physically unattractive, required less sleep, were dumb, cowardly, and incapable of feeling grief, and advanced, and therefore as a suspicion only that blacks, whether originally a distinct race or made distinct by time and circumstances, are inferior to the whites in the endowments of body and mind.
Man, that's crazy that he feel that way about us, and not just him, you know what I'm saying, but Master, I say Master. Master was always sleeping with the black women.
The wench, the bed wench.
But you know what I'm saying, he couldn't smell that bad if you know what I'm saying. And I think she said he fathered like 12 kids.
Yeah, he had a lot of kids. He has a whole lot of ancestors up in Virginia.
But you know, how could they smell bad and not be unattractive? How could you sleep with them if they unattractive
Dumb.
and have all these kids by?
Yeah, call them dumb, cowardly, but yet and still you have so many. Go ahead.
No, let me say this real quick, since we're talking about them, you know, taking the personal from the melanated women. This goes back to John Newton, you know, the Amazing Grace song, you know, like in the church and stuff. He said, when women and girls are taken aboard the ships naked and trembling, terrified, they are often exposed to the rudeness of the white savage. How about that? I didn't say it, the history book said.
Yeah.
Dr. Joy turned me on to it when I watched her lecture on YouTube. That's what it said. I'll read it again. When the women and girls are taken aboard a ship, naked and trembling, terrified, they are often exposed to the rudeness of white savages. The prey is divided up
Prey, huh?
upon the spot.
Pray.
The prey. And they best not refuse.
And she also said on her documentary that that young black women didn't live to even get their period. I'd say period. They didn't live that long.
Menstrual cycle.
Yeah, they didn't live that long.
No.
I mean, that's
malnourished them.
Kids. So you working kids as slaves, working kids that hard.
Working the muscle off the bone.
Yeah.
From sun up to sundown. Sharecropping shit. Like sugarcane and tobacco.
Right. Did Tom Jefferson did he also say like we didn't have no feeling or
Yeah.
And how could you know what I'm saying, be how we are the creme de la creme.
There it is.
Because if you know how tough and how strong you got to be a lady or a father to be a slave and have a son and daughter, see them get sold away. You know, ain't nothing you can do. You know, if you do anything, they gonna kill you. But they sell your kids. But in the morning, maybe that day, you still got to get out there in the field and work.
Yeah. No.
So you got to be just a strong person to do that. I mean, and they did that every day. So why would you even? It kind of make it like I know they didn't really, I guess, have no protection back then. So why would you even want to? That would make you not even want to sleep with your wife and have a kid, knowing that you bringing it into a world where you bringing it into harm's way.
Yeah.
Well, if you didn't sleep with her, they created something called breeding farms for our people.
Yeah.
So you're going to sleep with somebody, they're going to blindfold you and put you in a room with a whole bunch of women. Can't nobody see nobody. Everybody's blindfolded. You may end up sleeping with your mom or your sister.
All right. Well, this is what, like you said, Brown, about Thomas Jefferson. Also, James Marion Sims. He also said that the slave women were able to bear great pain because their race made them more durable, and thus they were suited for painful medication experiments and things that happened to them that they didn't feel. Like you said, they didn't feel any pain. That's crazy.
Nah, you know, the chattel, you know, human cattle, they ain't gonna feel no pain. Why? If y'all think about this, I want y'all to think about something.
You couldn't. You had to keep working. You can't.
Yeah.
You can't. Master, I'm hurt. My leg.
It don't matter. Master gonna hit you with that whip. Get on back to it, boy. Think about it like this right here. Look at us. Look at our hair. Look at our nose. Look at our lips. Sometimes beady eyes, red eyes, brown eyes, hazel eyes, whatever the case may be. We are the only people on the planet that look like us, except for our brothers and sisters over on the continent of Alkebulan. Every other nation of people have straight hair, all the same. You know, we are what we are. We know America has definitely made the world dislike us far more than anybody else from the past could have ever made the world dislike us.
That's right.
We constantly making silly films about selling drugs and being drug kingpins and cheating on our wives and girlfriends and stealing from one another. And in real life, we don't always do right. But you got to think, when they capture this on film, they sharing this with the world. Mm-hmm. Y'all may love 50 Cent show, and I salute 50. You know, I like to craft my wealth after him when I get there. The guy made phenomenal moves. But y'all need to start making movies about our history, the greatness of us. Mm-hmm. Why the hell we making a film about Big Meech?
Right.
Man, this shit don't make sense.
Drug dealing.
Why we making things about Ghost? This don't make sense. Come on, man. Make a movie about Benjamin Banneker. You know, make a movie about the guy who invented the first video game concept.
Yeah.
The black guy who invented the cell phone. Make movies about that. No, because nobody wants to. We don't want to see that.
Because and we like with. I just bring it up with Tubi movies.
Yeah.
I mean the movies. Don't get me wrong, because I had watched some movies on Tubi.
It be some okay movies.
Yeah, it be some okay movies, but I'm saying a lot of the movies are like drug dealers, strippers, and every woman, you know, got just a 10 body. Just that's not reality.
Yeah, it's not reality.
Yeah, everybody don't look like that.
No.
You know what I'm saying? But all of us aren't drug dealers and killers and stuff like that either. But one thing I know about, you know what I'm saying, about the other races, they don't make films to downgrade their own selves. You know what I'm saying? They
definitely don't.
And we don't have the money to publish this stuff. So if you go with them with a story, of course, it's making us look bad. So yeah, they're gonna give you the money to publish this. They're gonna print this.
And this is the thing, man. You don't even have to go to them. With the cameras, the 2 cameras and the 1 cell phone we got right now, we can shoot a full-fledged movie. We can shoot it all. Only thing we may have to change is different lights and find our settings. We can shoot a whole movie ourselves. Tyler Perry got a whole studio. You don't have to go and release your film through that Lionsgate and Paramount and none of this stuff. You don't have to. Create your own. But this is the thing, they hate to see us rise. This is the trauma that they go through. Oh man, they coming up. They ain't gonna need us no more. They ain't gonna need us no more. That's what we go through with them. Again, Brown over here minding his business. Richard over here looking at Brown minding his business. Richard gonna go over here and tell Clay and the rest of the boys, we're gonna go over there and take everything Brown's got. He's what he's done is touch the white girl and we can't have that. And we're gonna go over and we're gonna take it, and this is what we're gonna do. And they're gonna come right over here and destroy everything Brown got. I ain't saying that to be ugly. I'm saying that for the guys that think that way, for the white people to think that way because they do. Yeah, but that's black, messed up black folks too, as y'all like to put it. But we're talking about history, the post-traumatic slave syndrome, but it's still the post-traumatic white syndrome too, because whiteness is a sickness.
It's taught though. Like I said, it goes back to being taught because my mom and dad were foster parents. 9 out of 10, every kid came was white, but then none of those kids be like, we don't like, black people or come in like, looking at you like they were scared of you. Yeah. I mean, they call my mom, they nana, you know what I'm saying? My dad, they pawpaw. So it was just like, it's taught, you know what I'm saying? So it's racism is taught. And I'm sure some black people that teach their kids racism also. But you know what I'm saying? I'm not taking up for my race, but it's kind of I'm sure it's in a different way, in a way of fear, trying to say you have to, if you got boys, you got to let them know to watch out for the cops. Make sure you, don't be, cutting up or acting up. Just, do what you're supposed to do.
And you can be minding
show them your hands, and you still you're still not safe with that. But we just living in a bad time.
Yeah. Hey, can I pick it back off something real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
That Brown said when he was talking about how Massa would go in there and just rape the black women, and then like the slaves would like look at their women different. Okay, what Dr. Joy was saying, she said something about the psychology of rape. And the definition for that is that the fact that white men could profit from raping their female slaves does not mean that their motive was economic. The rape of slave women by their masters was primarily a weapon of terror that reinforced whites' domination over their human property. Rape was an act of physical violence designed to stifle black women, or black woman's will to resist and to remind them of their servile status.
But let me also say, it also said that the black women couldn't be raped.
Oh yeah,
because they was promiscuous. That's something, and they wasn't even human. So it's like you can do what you want to if you ain't even human.
It was a law, wasn't it? It was like a law.
No, they could do it. That's why they look.
They made a law for it.
Yeah, in the master bedroom, they would have a little side door that Massa would go through over there to the bed wench, the black lady, and rape her every night. And that's what drove the rage in the white women.
Right.
To be worse to the black slave, even worse, sometimes worse than the white man, the white slave. That's what drove that. They had to pass a law to say that you couldn't kill your slave because white women was beating so many children to death.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly what you said. Here it was called the rape law. No white could ever rape a slave woman. The regulations of law as to the white race on the subject of sexual intercourse do not and cannot, for obvious reasons, apply to slaves. Their intercourse is promiscuous.
and not just like, not just for the woman, the impact that it had on the female, but just think of the man. If this is his wife, and they on the same farm, a slave farm or whatever, and master is, just say, master might be like this more than he like the other one, so this might be his lady right here, but this still his wife. So he still, women are built a little different than we are about stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So he still gotta love his wife, but it's kind of hard to follow that. Like mentally, like what kind of block would that have? Like mentally, it's hard to follow. Like master been sleeping with her all week. You ain't got
whatever he wants.
Yeah, but now, what if she wants you to hug her and you still got to go? That's hug and love on your.
Yeah.
So mentally,
shit is rough.
Yeah, some of the stuff we do, I ain't gonna say we should get away with it because some of us do some crazy stuff, but some of the stuff we not. You know what I'm saying? We need therapy. Yeah, we need therapy.
Yeah, we do. We do. We do.
Period. Because you got to think that will emasculate the hell out of somebody.
Oh yeah.
You can't do anything. She looking at you while he pulling her inside. Come on here, gal.
Yeah,
and he's standing there, and you
better not
squeezing that hole with that shovel, and you say on the inside you just dying, and you just got to sit out there and you got to cry. And then he come walking out there fixing his clothes, and you go up in there and there she is crying, and you go to touch and she move away, because what can you do?
Right.
Those days are gone, Sean.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If I got to go hood with that thing like that right there, Sean, them days gone, boy. I'm telling you, this shit ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work no more, bro. It's over with. Carl von Linnaeus. This pseudoscientist, man, y'all look into him. He came up with these things, calling us swarthy and whimsical, and oh man, y'all look at the Carl von Linnaeus. Like I said, we just want to make you think. We don't want to give you all the info. Dr. Joy DeGroot, post-traumatic slave syndrome. You can find it on YouTube. It is well worth the watch. It's a very powerful lecture, and she go into that thing. She give it to you uncut and raw. It's beautiful to listen to, but it's also painful to have to hear some of the stuff she take you through. But it's worth the watch. So
do you research?
Yeah, do your own research. We just talked about it a little bit. It's so much deeper than what we were saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we get. This is a subject you could talk about all day, and it branch. Like I said, it's different branches. You could go in different. You can go into from racism to religion to. It's a lot of different things you can go through with this.
It's undoubtedly just like as Brown just put it, man. Shit, it's like the veins in your body, man.
Oh,
that shit can go anywhere.
Yeah. Oh, I was heated. Yeah,
when I first watched it, when it first came out, man, I don't think I could do it like bite my finger. God.
Especially some of the things that Brown talked about as far as the raping of the women and your wife and stuff like that, man. I actually got a little emotional about that because, it kind of pissed me off.
Yeah, because ain't nothing you could do about it. That's
nothing you could do.
It's hard to watch something go on somebody and your hands tied. Like you just
man.
That's why I mean,
boy, listen, I got one sister and one mama, one daughter. Let me tell you something, man. I'd be a dead mofo, boy. I'd be a dead man. I got some female friends I care deeply about. They have to kill me. I got some cousins I care deeply about. Yeah. Some aunties, they'll have to kill me. It ain't gonna work again. I like to say this, and I say this with pride. I'm unapologetically Sharif, and I'll always be unapologetically Sharif. I give two damns about the craziness, because if you think we're gonna lay down and fold in 2025, you got another thing coming. So
about that.
There it is, and I'm done.
Hey, I'm done too. I'm good.
Well, at this time, the Carbon Ether family would like to thank you for your rhythm, your frequency, and your vibration. And may the universe continue to favor you. Until next time.
Deuces.
Peace.